Hello and welcome to another Tinto Maps review. This time we're obviously looking at Arabia, as that is the latest of the review thingamabobs that they're doing. Still no Britain, unfortunately. But I will say I'm sorry that I haven't got the Tinto comments and responses and such video out yet. I've been working on a special video that I'm hoping is going to get out in the next couple of days. It's taking me. I'm doing editing, guys. It's a process. I apologize. But anyway, let us get into the Tinto maps review of Arabia and see what it is that we are going to be experiencing with this little update. So, hello, welcome to another Tinto Maps feedback post. We'll take a look at the review of Arabia. Let's look at the list of changes. So we added some, I say we, they've added some wastelands and corridors. There are, what's that, 8 new tags? Yeah, 8 new tags, that's cool. Another character, another culture has been added, another dynasty, and some more dynamic names. Religion corrections, Sharifate of Mecca is made Shiite. Removed the following Mutair tag. Raw goods have been changed. I guess this is going to be just something that happens in every review so that they can add new spices. That's what we're going to be looking for in this, of course, is the new spices. And also adding some beeswax, although I have no idea how prevalent bees are in Arabia. I assume there are bees. I don't know. I would assume so. Terrain and vegetation has been reviewed, locations have been reviewed, minorities have been added. You might notice that for once we were happy with the current location density of the region, so they added some wastelands and corridors to make sure it worked better. For instance, they linked up southern Oman with southern Yemen through some corridors. Most of the changes were done on the country setup and other layers. Let's take a look now at the maps. So, this is the map. Easy way would be to just open this here again. So Yemen being attached to Oman. If we go and have a look at this being the previous one, we can have a comparison. I very much like that this is now a corridor that you can traverse. That is a very welcome change. I was not a fan of not being able to walk over here in Imperata. It doesn't matter how awful this land is to traverse through. I still feel it's possible to, march an army through there, then, makes sense to be able to do so. So the new map, this being there, is a great thing, in my opinion. Other changes, like this whole area to the north of Mecca, including Mecca itself, has just been completely changed. Mecca is dead, gone, whatever. And this looks like it is uncolonized now. And in return, there is just... It feels like... I'm not sure how... If you have the sources to create this, that you then find sources to create this instead, it feels like a completely different timeline to me. But hey, if this is more historically accurate, then who am I to complain? For sure. So Lamb is there, clearly my country. And yeah, just a few extra other countries that just have completely different setup, like just completely different. It's actually kind of insane just how different that is. Either way, cool, good stuff. I like updates. Lots of changes from the feedback suggestions. The most notable changes happen in Central Arabia and also in the Persian Gulf. You might notice that we also reviewed the Persian region. Don't get anxious, please. There'll be another feedback post for it soon. I noticed, or I didn't notice, one of my commenters noticed that Persia had changed in one of the wide shots of the, I think it was the one that showed off the sea lanes and earthquake map. Noticed that Persia had changed. So yeah, when the Persian feedback thread comes up, obviously we'll be doing a video on that as well. Time for Dynasties. I can't pronounce any of these, but let's just see if we can quickly find the Dynasties map mode, and then we can do an comparison. Obviously, lots of differences because all of the countries here are completely different. This is actually a country. Oh, hang on. That is actually a country. It's apparently the same country as this bit here. Catarids here and here. Okay. So apparently this is a country. It's not uncolonized. It is Just the same as that, apparently. Okay. Government types, all the tribes, and then monarchies on the coast. I don't think that's too much different. Locations, they said, weren't too different other than the corridors, and again, I'm very happy that those have been added. Since there are only redrawn locations today, let me know if you want to see any specific area in detail. Makes sense. Provinces as well looks way better now that the internal, the wastelands are not colored in. I just point out just how much better it looks than this. How much easier it is to parse what the information is than this. It is night and day. It is night and day. Areas, I don't think too much has changed there. As for terrain, yo, it's all arid? Ain't no way. I can't believe it. Some cold arid down here in the mountains of Yemen as well. And then lots of plateau, hills, mountains. We can see if we can't do a comparison on that one. It's here. Let me just open it in a new tab. That might be a little bit easier to parse between. So, some plateau has been added in place of hills, but other than that, it seems relatively similar. Plateau here, flatland, plateau, flatland, few hills been added, few mountains been added. But otherwise, it seems relatively similar, to be perfectly honest. Desert, who'd have thunk it? Some grasslands and sparse. I don't think that's too different. Desert, flat, yeah, it's the same. And as for development, it's not very developed. It's just not a very developed region right now. Mecca, I guess, being the center of pilgrimage for the faith, is going to be more developed. That makes sense. I'm surprised Yemen is quite so badly developed. There is a lot of people living down there. As for natural harbors, some decent ones around in Yemen and then over in Oman, but that's kind of it. And cultures, this might be an interesting one to do a comparison of, if we can find it. There it is. Najdi, Yemeni, Hijazi, Hadrami, that is your big blocks. And again, it's kind of the same, but we have a lot of minorities now spreading around. This blue minority, is that Mehri or is that something else? Unfortunately, there's no text to tell us, but I think that's probably this culture right here. As for languages, it's all Arab except a little bit of Ethiopian, or Ethiopic, I think is what it's saying here. Ethiopic, yeah, which is certainly interesting. And then the second one is the court language. It's all Arabic. As for religions, there is a big change, it looks like. If we can hop on over to the religions. Shiite, Ibadi, and then Sunni. But now Shiite is over this entire western coastline, which is kind of wild. It is kind of wild. Wasn't expecting to see that at all. So you're going to end up with a lot of religious turmoil that you are going to have to deal with if you are wanting to play in this region or conquer this region. As for raw materials, here is the one that we're looking for. Do we see the new spices? I am very much interested to see if we can find any of them. I don't want to see just spices. I want to see different types of spices. Sugar, I think, was already there before. Incense, I was already there before. There's some saffron. Okay, we've seen that one before. But is there anything else? Any other kinds of spices that we can see? Any cinnamon, potentially? I actually have no idea what kind of spices are common in this region. But I see quite a bit of sugar. That's cool. I don't see anything. But if you do see something that I'm not seeing, then let me know in the comment section below. I'd be very interested to see it. But yeah, saffron here. And of course, just gotta quickly find the medicaments because it's just what we do here. Yeah. Pretty decent setup of trade goods. Lots of fruit. Tons and tons and tons and tons of fruit, which is cool. Onto the markets, we have the Mecca market, the Adan market, Al Hajr market, and if we can compare that to the one here, it's pretty much the same. Al Hajr and Al Hajr, is that both the same here as well? Yes, it is. Okay. So pretty much a similar market setup, though. Again, I very much think the change they've made to this map style is much easier to read. Obviously, we don't. This isn't as bad as when they had that stained glass effect, but certainly this versus this is so much easier to read, in my opinion. Testing new coloring for the map mode. What do I think about it? I think it is a big improvement. A big improvement. As for population, they have fixed their pop editor, but they wanted to make a general pass on all pops before any more feedback reviews shared, since they have some issues regarding those errors here and there. Fair enough. Scotland is getting some flavor on Friday, which is awesome, and looking forward to that. On Wednesday, though, I'm not sure what it is we are getting, because obviously last week we had the final mechanics dev diary. The end of here, they're going through all the core mechanics, and the next few weeks they'll go through all the changes. If that is what is coming on Wednesday, fantastic. If not, I don't know what's coming on Wednesday. So, stick around. I will hopefully get the comments and reactions and stuff in probably tomorrow. I'll have that video out. All of the responses to this video. Sorry, not to this video, to this dev diary for the Friday flavor dev diary on Hungary, and I'll also pop in the responses to the Arabian rework, and then I think Wednesday I will have a couple of videos, one of them being whatever we're getting, and another being an edited I'll just spoil it. I'm doing a top 10 changes we've had in the past year of Tinto Talks video, and that's taken a bit of work. I've got a whole script and all that kind of nonsense and editing, and I hate editing. We'll see. Hopefully that one does well. So if you want to make sure that you see that video, hit the subscribe button and stick around for more EU5 news, updates, and all that good stuff. I will see you probably tomorrow. Toodaloo.